Missy Gannon is now Major Missy, finally taking down the first major of your career. Doesn't feel like it, but Missy, in the moment, now we're away from the crowds, we're away from all the chaos. How do you feel right now?
Relieved. It was just such a weird day, and I came into the day actually feeling really calm. But as the round went on, I could feel the nerves coming in, and yeah, I was really focused on all the shots of all of my competitors and kind of getting out of my own lane a little bit. So yeah, I'm relieved that it's over, and I'm very, very happy.
Let's dive into the details here at Sprinkle Valley. There were some days that just felt like the best disc golf weather you could ever have. But
Yeah,
then today, we were just talking about it.
yeah.
The forecast said it was like 7 to 30 mile an hour winds, but you're also playing in a juniper forest, which is really dense.
Yeah.
Talk about how the wind played a factor in the woods out there.
It was very prevalent. I think we felt the wind on every single hole, and it was very gusty. So sometimes somebody would be up at the tee and it would be kind of calm, and then you would step up and it would be ripping headwind. And also it was hard to tell what was happening kind of halfway down the fairway on some of those fairways, because there's like little service roads that go through, and I feel like that was where the wind was kind of sneaking in. So it was a little bit of a guessing game, but it was okay until I feel like the end, where we could really feel it in the open.
Evelina goes over the top on her second shot on hole one.
Mm-hmm.
She's going aggressive right away. When you saw her line up that over the top shot, were you kind of like, oh, okay, you're coming for me today? What were you feeling in that moment? And then after just a terrible result on that shot, how were you feeling then?
I think that I am a safer player. So when I saw her do that, I mean, it showed me that she was, here to play aggressive. But I also kind of, if I was her caddy, I don't think I would have told her to do that, just because I knew that the wind was way much more prevalent up over the trees. But I commend her for being aggressive, and unfortunately it did result in a double bogey, and I did get 2 strokes right off the bat, so that was relieving. But it was almost weird because it was so early, and I was like, okay, that's great, but there's so many holes left, it may not even matter.
Yeah, how do you feel in that moment? Do you almost feel bad? Are you kind of like, I was kind of hoping for a battle, but now it's starting off like 4 strokes instead of 2? Or are you trying to just stay locked and focused in your own lane?
I'm trying to stay locked and focused. I don't know. It's a weird feeling, because I really like Evelina, and we are really good people to each other, and I love playing with her, and so it's like a kind of a weird back and forth, because I do feel bad, but at the same time I'm like, well, these are the decisions that ultimately are what make or break the tournament.
Gotta play to win. Now, you told Nate Perkins that you kind of accidentally saw the leaderboard for the other cars, starting to see how good other players were playing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have 2 strokes going into the day. How quickly do you lose track of what other people are doing? Or does your brain just not turn off? Do you always have tabs on people?
It doesn't really turn off. I definitely pay attention to what everybody's doing. I think today it was easier to focus solely on Evelina, because we were pretty far ahead, and I knew that it would take like a 8 to 10 under effort with us not shooting well to be able to surpass either one of us. So I wasn't really thinking about anybody else. I did see the scoreboard by accident, but it kind of was nice. I'm still figuring out whether or not I want to know what other people are doing on other cards. So maybe it was meant to happen that way.
Yeah, well, Missy, you've won Ledgestone twice. You've won tour championships before. You've won Throw Pink. You've won so many 4-round tournaments at the top level. I want to talk about the concept of competitive stamina.
Yeah.
The ability to stay focused and stay motivated and keep the fire burning over a long period of time. Do you feel like over the course of your career, that's something that just naturally develops, or does it take some pretty deep introspection to gain that ability?
Yeah, it's a lot of just trying to take my relaxation seriously and my rehab seriously. It's easy to want to go and do fun things, especially when you're in an awesome city like Austin that has so many things to do. But honestly, I guess playing later in the day, it kind of didn't leave much time to do anything after the round anyway. But the temptations were still there. So just trying to relax. And I woke up and I popped on, the Valspar championship, and I was watching traditional golf all morning, kind of getting in that mind space of just really relaxed and ready to go.
Well, you told me last year at the World Championships when you had just a phenomenal battle with Kristen, and you averaged over 1,000 and still came up short.
Yeah.
That you felt really intense that week.
Mm-hmm.
You felt like it was a super intense focus, and you felt like you had to give everything you had to take down that title.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you've taken down the title, what does that focus feel like for you? Is it an intense focus still? Does it feel calm?
Mm-hmm.
What is it like?
Yes, it is very intense. I try to stay very focused on each and every shot and not get ahead of myself. I did find myself doing that in a couple of the events so far this year already, thinking about the end or thinking about the result. And it never worked out. So I figured, okay, this might be the time to try to switch that a little bit and not think about my acceptance speech or what it might happen. Literally
Exactly.
those things go through your head when you're in the possible position to take it. So yep, just trying to stay in the moment and stay focused, and try to turn it up a notch, but I really play my best when I'm playing loose and I'm not super super intense, but it definitely got there today.
Well, I have one last question for you. You talked to me years back about your journey just getting to this place in your life, and you said, I believe at one point you were working at like an ice cream shop trying to pay off student loan debt. You and Tom had the idea to go travel, and it inspired you to kind of change the entire course of your life. Fast forward to now, you're a major champion. Has that time gone by fast, or how has that journey felt to you?
It's been kind of fast, but with all of the sacrifices that we've made and the decision to pop out on tour back in 2018 just on a sort of a whim, to now realize that I wanted it so bad and I put in the time, and we worked through all of the being broke for a little while after our first year on tour, and just trying to grind it out. And I couldn't have done it without Tom and his family support and my family's support, everybody that has helped us to get to this point. I will never take that for granted, and I'm still not going to take anything for granted. I have checked a major box off my list, but I'm just going to keep pushing and keep trying to get the next one.